You are on Big FM on 98.3. I'm RJ Bob, and friends, I'd like to welcome you to this special program that we're bringing to you as part of our observation of World Suicide Prevention Day, which is on the 10th of September. Now, this is a program brought to you by Big FM in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University. Now, in the past couple of days, we had listened to counselors talk about suicide, suicidal behavior, and the prevention of suicide. We also talked about mental health and mental wellness. And today in the program, we have the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University, Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, and today we are going to be talking about the role that educational institutions have to play in promoting mental health and well-being, and also in helping students deal with the everyday problems that they may face. So let's begin our chat with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu. Ma'am, in your views, how can universities play a role in promoting mental health and well-being among the students and the staff?
Well, a university is a place where the students as well as its staff spend the maximum number of hours in a day. So the university's role in ensuring that everyone stays happy and healthy is very crucial. We know that our students will do well in their academics, and our staff will also perform in the daily tasks very well if they have a good mental health and well-being. As a university, we have many position statements that explain or stand on some context. One of our position statement is investing in the well-being of students, staff, and faculty. This is a conceptual, contextual, and compassionate approach, and this we have recently approved this year in the beginning of this year. We came up with this position statement after the COVID-19 pandemic, in which we all agree that COVID-19 has impacted us a lot mentally and socially as well. As a university, we did a survey among both our student and staff, and on the basis of the outcome of a survey, the statement was generated. I would like to highlight a few of the outcome of the survey. Out of the 800 plus respondents from a student, 87% of them express that they have a feeling of stress, and these stress include uncertainty about the future, especially higher studies, job prospect, and even financial security. More than half of them have expressed that their academic motivation had decreased. Emotional instability, demonstration by feeling of nervousness, anxiety, loss of interest, or pleasure in things, sleep problems, difficulty in concentration, and feeling let down is some of the outcome of the study that have come out when we did for the student. There are also thought of self-harm, which have come out very, very little, but it is still a number that we are concerned with. So this is what we did as a university. We did a survey, and then we come up with this statement, and this statement is one thing that we want everyone in the university, be it at the higher level or at the lower level, we have to look into the mental health and well-being of everyone in the university. Yes.
We'll be right back in this conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University, on this special program that we're bringing to you as part of our observation of World Suicide Prevention Day. And remember that this program is brought to you by Big FM in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University. Stay tuned. You are on Big FM on 98.3. Welcome back, dear friends, to this special hour here on your morning show Big Breakfast with Bob, where we bring to you a program on mental health, mental wellness, and also the prevention of suicide. This is a program brought to you by Big FM in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University. Today, we are speaking with the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University, Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, and today we are talking about the role that educational institutions have to play in helping their students deal with academic and also personal problems. So let's continue in this conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu. Ma'am, can you share any advice for students and staff on maintaining a healthy work-life balance while also navigating academic and personal challenges?
Well, as I've mentioned, we did a survey, and from the survey we have identified not just the negative component, but we've also find out from a student what are the ways that they try to cope the stress. So the self-coping activities, and many of them mention a lot of things. Some of them have during the pandemic especially, have gone out to help their friends and families. In the university, for instance, they talk to university teachers and counselor. They also try to distract themselves with other things such as video games, movies. Some even sleep more, they said. But doing things like gardening, cooking, baking, art, crafts, and also learning of new musical instrument. This is one of the things that is very interesting. Some of the students said that they learned new things during the pandemic. Now, since you mentioned about the academic challenge, I would like to inform you that you and everyone listening to this, that in MLCU we follow a system of evaluation called a CFE, which is continuous formative evaluation. So if learning is a continuous process, we feel that evaluation should be a continuous process. The CFE is something that encourages and supports students to study every day rather than waiting to swallow everything at the end of the semester and then spill it out through at the end of the semester examination. And you know that examination, even from literature and from different study, even from papers, you will see that it is one of the components in the learning process which add a maximum stress to the student. I also like to mention to you that we had a position statement, and this position statement is also take into consideration what should be the policy of academic and MLCU in order to reduce stress or bring in a healthy work-life balance, like you've mentioned. The academics should be a friendly, stress-free, and supporting learning environment. We focus more on community and experiential-based learning rather than classroom learning. We also emphasize on career and livelihood, because one of the stress that I've indicated earlier is that students are not sure what will be their career in future. So we do stress a lot on career and livelihood. Our focus is more on individuals. CFE for sure focus on individual rather than on the group. Then we also have activities in the university which focus on happiness and well-being. On a personal development and care basis, we have something which calls as physical, social, psychosocial profile, which we did at the time of admission. We have a subject which is called as in the foundation course, which is called as knowing oneself. Students are allowed to learn or know about themselves through the different survey, whether their learning style or their career. And in fact, we provide career counseling throughout the year, even at the time of admission when students are not sure. Other than that, extracurricular activities are always there, should always be there. Life skill, decision making, self-care, and of course the health and campus safety is one thing that we focus in this position statement.
Learning to maintain a healthy work-life balance while navigating academic and personal challenges. And we had a few hints on how to do that from Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University. When we come back here in this conversation, we're going to find out about the resources and support systems that are available on campus. So stay tuned to this special program here on Big FM, a program brought to you in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University on the occasion of World Suicide Prevention Day that will be celebrated on the 10th of September. Stick around. 98.3 Big FM, this is RJ Bob. Welcome back, dear friends, to this special hour here on Big FM. And today we are in conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University. And today we are talking about the role that educational institutions have to play in promoting mental health and well-being among students and staff, and the prevention of suicide. This is a program brought to you especially on the occasion of World Suicide Prevention Day that will be observed on the 10th of September. Let's continue in our conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu.
Ma'am, what resources and support systems are available on campus for those seeking assistance with their mental well-being?
Well, as a university, one of the basic things that we have is the immediate support that we can give to a student, and not just a student but also to our staff through our counselors. So we have two counselors, a male and a female counselor, and depending on the need of the student and the staff, they can always go and meet the counselor for any discussion that they want to have with them. Other than that, as a university, we have a policy of mentorship, so the student can always go to their mentor every student is assigned a teacher mentor. All a teacher also have to undergo at least the basic skills of counseling. Not everyone knows how to counsel, but at least the basic. The moment they reach a level that they know they cannot carry further, then they send the student to the counselor. This year we have moved further. We have even trained our student to be part of the buddy counseling, because some of the student doesn't want to go to a teacher nor to a counselor. So we want their student buddy to also be their counselor. So this is one thing, and it is still developing in nature. We are still training them to move from one level to another. So hopefully by the end of this year, our student will be ready, and next year again another batch will be trained. Beside all of that, the other facility that we provide is, this year we have started a lounge for a student. When you come into the university, you will see the first thing you see is a lounge, and it is very welcoming for students to get in. There's a foosball game that is there. There are reading materials, which are non-academic, fun magazine, which, the current day student, the Generation Z student are very much into. We also have student clubs, but one of the newest addition which came out of the surveys that we have done was, a lot of students are really worried about their health, and although we have already started the health insurance for our faculty or staff, this year we've also started a new edition, health and accidental insurance for all the students who are registering with MLCU, and also we're going to extend this to the previous batch of students. I would also like to take back to the position statement about the balance of life for our faculty. One of the things that we want, not just the well-being, not just for our student but for faculty, is that academic is not easy, and we have to continue to progress, continue to update ourselves. So as a university, we have a lot of development program. We also have financial support to our faculty in case they go for seminars and workshop, or even if they register for a course, we do give a financial support to our faculty, and we develop we allow them to develop the academic track that fits their their strength, and also as per the need of a university, because if they develop the strength and when they come back they cannot apply it, then that's also again becomes stressful for them. So that's how we guide them, that if they are to develop anything or be specialized in anything which is new, it should also be able to be implemented in the university level, so that it will not be wasted. Other than that, at a personal and family level, we have gender sensitive policies, we have family support system. In fact, if you run through our HR policy, which is there in the website, we have different leaves. We have leaves for single mothers, we have leaves for taking care of the parent, we even have women's leave. So that we have introduced for the last 3 years, and they had really helped our faculty, especially at a time when they have to take care of their family, not just their kids but even their mothers or their fathers. So this is what we've done so far as teachers and students in order to maintain balance between work and family life as well.
That was Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu pointing out some of the resources and support systems that are available on campus for those that need it for their mental well-being. Now, we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, where we will continue this conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu as we explore other aspects by which institutions can help their staff and students deal with their personal or academic challenges and to aid them in promoting their mental health and mental well-being. This program is part of the observation of World Suicide Prevention Day that will be celebrated on the 10th of September. And also remember that this program is a collaboration between Big FM and Martin Luther Christian University. You are listening to 98.3 Big FM. This is RJ Bob. And friends, I'd like to welcome you once again to this special hour on Big FM. Now, the 10th of September is observed as World Suicide Prevention Day. And Big FM has collaborated with Martin Luther Christian University to bring to you this special program on mental health, mental wellness, and the prevention of suicide. Now, today on the program, we continue our talk with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University, and our talk is on the role that educational institutions have to play in promoting mental health and well-being among students and staff. So let's continue.
So, ma'am, with the situation nowadays, that society has become so isolated and we're all busy doing our own things. We have little time for all our friends, for our family. What strategies can students and staff use to stay connected and to feel a sense of community?
Okay, so the word community is very important here. We know as tribals, we all live together in a community and we support each other. But as time moves, and as you have rightly said, we have started to be isolated. One of the things that we spend most of our time is with our phones and running through the YouTube and whatnot, and we miss socializing, or we miss being in the community. The best way of getting away or doing away with stress is being in a community and staying connected. Our university follow 5-day week, which means Monday to Friday and Saturday our student have nothing to do, and as I say, we have a CFA, so they don't have exam to prepare over the weekend, although they do have assignment to work with. Majority of our students are coming to this university are from outside the city of Shillong. Even if they are local from Meghalaya, they'll be from outside Shillong city. So they'll be in rented places, or they will be in in hostels, and so they are cut off from their families and relatives. What we have recently started is weekend activity, and we have had 2 movie days on 2 Saturdays, and we have different movies for the student, and student themselves identify what movie they want to have. These weekend on Saturdays are supposed to be meant only for fun and for connection, nothing to do with academics. We do allow students to bring their friends as well in these weekend activities. And since you mentioned virtually, although we have not had any thing which is related to community as far as non-academic is concerned, from the time of pandemic till now, we have continued connected with a student through a social media like WhatsApp group. So every class will always have their WhatsApp group, and they can share anything in the WhatsApp group, not just academic, even the non-academic activities that the student wants to share in with their friends in the group. They can do that. Every department also have their Instagram page where they upload their activities, and so student can follow these activities, and the back and forth followed between student and teachers and everyone being together. It brings in a sense of togetherness between not just the student of the department, but between department as well. Besides, we also recently we have engaged our student in creating content for our podcast. Our podcast goes into the YouTube and Spotify, and we were thinking slowly all of this screening of the podcast or even creating content of the podcast will be student led, and we hope that these will be some of the strategy that will bring in the community feeling among our students as well as the staff.
We'll be right back in our conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University, on this program, which is part of our observation of World Suicide Prevention Day on the 10th of September. And remember that this program is brought to you by Big FM in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University. Stay tuned. You are listening to 98.3 Big FM. Welcome back to this special hour here on your morning show Big Breakfast with Bob, where we are in conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University. And earlier, she had mentioned about the strategies that students and staff can use to stay connected. So to find out more about the role that educational institutions have in promoting mental health and well-being, let's continue in our chat with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu.
Ma'am, can you suggest some simple daily practices that anyone can adopt to enhance their emotional well-being?
Well, one of the best ways to enhance our emotional strength and well-being is to keep ourselves busy. Self-care self-care is very important. We should try to exercise, eat a healthy and balanced diet to keep our body healthy, stay connected with friends and family. This way we do not only help ourselves, but also we give time to them or family members or friend in case they needed us also. It's not just about us, it's about them as well who are part of us. Sometimes challenging ourselves with difficult tasks is also another way of enhancing our well-being.
Keep listening to 98.3 Big FM. We'll be right back in our chat with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University. When we come back, she has a very special message for World Suicide Prevention Day. Remember that this is a program brought to you by Big FM in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University as part of our observation of World Suicide Prevention Day on the 10th of September. You are listening to 98.3 Big FM. Welcome back to this special hour here on your Morning Show Big Breakfast with Bob, where we are in conversation with Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu, the Registrar of Martin Luther Christian University. And our chat today, continued from yesterday, is on the role that educational institutions have to play to promote mental well-being and mental health among its students and staff. And remember that this is a program that's brought to you by Martin Luther Christian University and Big FM as part of the observation of World Suicide Prevention Day. And now here is Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu with a very special message for World Suicide Prevention Day.
What message would you like to share with our university community on World Suicide Prevention Day, emphasizing on the importance of looking out for one another and prioritizing our mental health?
This one I'll go back to a position statement, because there's one point that had been mentioned there which is very important, and not just for us as a university, for other university and for community in general. Okay, one of the point that has been mentioned in the position statement is deaths of despair. Is a term that has recently entered the lexicon or the dictionary of health professionals. Despair is defined as a state of mind in which there is an entire want of hope. And from a psychological perspective, this definition focuses on cognitive state that includes defeat, guilt, worthlessness, helplessness, pessimism, and limited positive expectation for the future. Deaths from despair are those that occur from suicide, drug overdose, and alcoholism, specifically for liver failure. These deaths can occur in any demography, but are related more to lower levels of education, poverty, rural areas, illicit drug use, and negative thoughts and self-harm behaviors. We all know from recent data that has been published about the state of Meghalaya and also some of the northeastern state, we fall low in almost all categories, including education, health, and development, and high in poverty, uses of drugs. I would say, as much as we need help from the government, it is important for each and every citizen to understand and accept that everything is now, with the data, beyond the government to bring about the change alone. And the government needs the full support of people. And this, we should not feel bad about it. We should not say that only the government should help us. We should be happy that we should also be taking part in improving all these conditions about our state or even our neighboring state. We should look after each other and try to contribute to the community in many ways. MLCU wants to stay connected with the community, and this is what we have done across all the programs of the university. One thing that we should keep in mind that the process of education, especially the process of examinations, the idea of we have this much syllabus to complete, these are something that have cut our ties. Our ties mean it could be the student ties or the faculty ties with the community that we live in. We don't know what is actually happening there because we are so much focused into what to complete and what to read during examination that we keep ourselves in the four corners. So education should not be like that. It should bring us to the community and community back to us. So this is one of the message that I would like to share with all other student community or education community, and in fact to all people across our state and the globe as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for this time, and I hope that people will learn something and will start working for the community as well. Thank you.
And with that message from Dr. Iwamon W.J. Lalu for World Suicide Prevention Day, we will wrap up this special program for today. But remember that this program will come to you every day till the 10th of September as we get set to observe World Suicide Prevention Day. And also remember that this program is brought to you by Big FM in collaboration with Martin Luther Christian University.